really just a frame of reference.
You know my way of looking at it, Chemo.
There's only one way of looking at it.
It's the Einstein's way.
But where's this attraction?
Look.
You made a big mistake.
I'm just trying to take a complicated topic and simplify it for a simple mind.
Where's this attraction that you speak of?
What's that?
Where is this attraction you said that happened?
Usually to ladies. Good-looking ladies. Yeah.
What does that have to do with the globe?
You asked me where my attraction was. Usually good-looking ladies.
Yeah, the attraction in the globe. Where is that with the gas?
It can be ladies from anywhere on the globe.
Your ladies have gas next to a vacuum.
Some of them do.
How does that
But you shouldn't point it out. It's impolite.
That's because they have a container, right?
You don't call their butts a container, Kimo. That's disrespectful. That is disrespectful.
Hey, you don't never go up to some lady and go, "How are you keeping all that gas in your container?" Like, you're just never going to get laid that way, Kimo. You're doing it wrong.
Well, at least we agree it's a container.
No, we don't agree with that.
So how do you have gas pressure without a container, then?
How do you put a heavy gas in an open fish tank with no lid and have it stay in there?
You got a container.
How do we have a gas differential without a container?
Got a container. That's what you've got, right?
Oh, you're saying you need a closed? Do you need a closed container? Can you have an open container?
It needs to be a container. You need two surfaces, two walls.
Two walls.
Yeah, you need two walls. 2 walls for the pressure. Yeah.
2 walls is enough for a container. Are you saying?
No, for the pressure.
Okay.
Like ping pong.
Kimo, can you show me a 2-wall container?
Yeah, so like ping pong, I can contain the ball between the 2 bats. Duh.
Is that a container
where's
of gas?
The ball? It's being contained between the 2 bats, the 2 paddles.
No, because you'll miss a shot.
I'm containing the ping pong.
Chemo. You should really talk like that all the time. You should talk like that.
Yeah, it fits your message.
Chemo. Well, yeah, that thing. Talk like that all the time. It's more accurate to your
intellect. So you can understand me better.
No, it just makes you sound as stupid as you are, and I think that's just more honest.
Yeah, now you understood clearly, right?
No, I very seldom understand anything you say, but that's okay.
Well, you understood. You said, how do you contain something with 2 walls? Like a ping pong ball.
It's not contained?
Being contained between the 2 walls.
No, it's being bounced between the 2 walls.
So what are we doing? Are we keeping it in within those 2 walls?
Well, I mean, why doesn't the ping pong ball just float the fuck away right off the table? There's no lid, right?
Because it's being contained.
But the thing is, we attempt to keep it between the paddles, but then someone's not as good as the other one, so it'll go past the other one. So it's not actually being contained.
If someone misses it, yeah. But if you if you keep them between the 2 sticks, the 2 paddles, then you will contain it.
So what happens if one of them hits it and it goes straight to the other, like straight left instead of front, and then it misses entirely?
You just need 2 walls for containment.
What if a wind comes in and pushes the ball to the side so no one can catch it? It wasn't contained.
That's different, then, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, because you kind of have the pressure without the walls.
Are you telling me that there are no walls on the surface of the planet? I think we have all sorts of walls. We have natural walls, we have hills and valleys and all that kind of stuff. And guess what settles into those areas?
Good man.
Oxygen and gases.
Well done. Welcome to Flat Earth.
No.
You just said you've got walls all over the place, you just said.
Yeah, natural things.
That's where the pressure
and all the gases all the way around the globe all settle towards the center.
That's where the pressure comes from. You just said the walls.
Yeah, we don't need a lid. We don't need a lid on top, because the same way we don't need a lid to the aquarium. We don't need a lid on top of Earth.
Finally, Zant gets it.
We got it.
No, you don't get it, Kimo.
So there's walls everywhere, and that's how you get your pressure from. Good, you're learning.
I didn't. No. Don't put words in my mouth.
Well, what are you talking about walls for then?
Look, you wouldn't just go sticking your cock in someone's mouth. Don't go sticking words in people's mouth.
What's the point of bringing up walls?
Because you're an idiot.
There you go.
And I'm batting you back and forth because I don't take you seriously. And I'm an honest person.
And there's
By the way,
there.
That was rude of me. Sorry.
And I can feel the pressure between your two paddles. So that's how it works, Sant. You can't have gas next to a vacuum without the container, without the walls. Welcome to flat Earth.
But the thing is, if you've done this thing where you put the container or the paddle underneath the ball, and then you can keep hitting it. You don't need a ball, a thing on the other side or above it. It keeps coming back to the same paddle. So now I have pressure with one wall, one paddle. How can you explain this?
Depends on the medium that you're in.
Isn't your birthday coming up, Chemo?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
So Chemo, how does it depend on the medium I'm in?
Is it 3 candles this time or 4?
Oh, give me 27. So yeah, without those walls, then, as you're learning.
Hold on, you made a statement because I showed you an example using your own logic where all I needed was one wall, and you said it depends on the medium you're in. In what way does it depend on the medium I'm in?
Because if you bounce the ball up under a different medium, it won't come back.
So you're saying that the medium is the other wall?
The medium is what's giving you the effect, yeah.
Okay, well, so when we do the two paddle example, we are also in a medium. So therefore, it's not just 2 walls because the medium was walls, just like you said. So there isn't just 2 walls; it's always 4 walls, or how many infinite walls, I guess, because of the medium. Because it's not a wall; it's an infinite wall, I guess.
No, because we're containing it between the paddles.
Yeah, and I'm containing it to the one paddle, but then you say no, it's the medium. So I'm gonna go back to your example and say no, you're not containing it between the 2 paddles because it's the medium you're in. If you change the medium, it's not gonna go between the 2 paddles. It's gonna go and either just fall to the ground or rise up to the top. You're not gonna be able to contain it between the 2 paddles.
Yeah, because we're in a container, aren't we?
So you're saying that now the container is the medium, not the 2 walls of the paddles?
No, I'm saying that the reason why it returned is relative density.
Okay. So why don't you apply that same reasoning in the 2 paddle example? Why are you being so hypocritical?
It's still relative density, isn't it? Because the paddles are too dense for the balls to go through.
You're too dense for the ball to go through.
And you're too wise, right? No, we wouldn't say that. Or you would.
Some people have called me a wise guy, occasionally even a smart ass.
Yeah, you're the clever one, aren't you? Exactly. So, the idea that you think you can have a space next to a vacuum without the container is preposterous. And unless you can demonstrate, obviously, the bending of space-time lied and said it's a pulling force, which is not true.
I said, no, look, you just put more words in my mouth. Stop doing that.
Attractive force, it's pulling.
No, it's not.
You've already disproven yourself with the 2 paddle example.
But attractive is not pulling then. The gravity is not
attractive.
It's not being pulled towards the center of the Earth.
Being attractive.
No. Actually, the ground is being pushed towards the masses.
No. That's in a different gravity. We're talking about dance gravity.
I don't have my own gravity.
Yeah, you said the attractive one.
Well, now you're back onto the ladies.
That's not the current science. Attractive forces.
No, that has to do with chemistry and pheromones and hormones and.
Yeah.
So that's my whole point is that you make up a story.
Oh, I didn't make it up. I'm not nearly that creative.
Viewers are being lost. There's no realism. People want realism. Reality documentary. Flat Earth is a reality documentary, like reality. Whereas the heliocentric is just entertainment.
It may be a reality documentary, but it would probably be about, psychology and where it goes terribly, terribly wrong.
Yeah, we can have all those conversations here on the flat plane, as long as we don't have them in space, or on the moon, or on Mars. We're happy, right? We're satisfied.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll be having conversations in those places soon enough too.
That's wishful thinking.
No, I don't think so.
You're a dreamer, fantasy, daydream about maybe one. But obviously, we know that's never going to happen because you can't leave the atmosphere.
Yeah, and if there were more people like you, we wouldn't have even figured out how to build a fucking plane. Because, people thought we would never fly, it'll never happen. What kind of silly nonsense? Men aren't birds.
Oh, that's obvious.
But now we have planes.
Oh, that's ancient technology.
Ancient technology. Yeah, I guess what else is ancient technology at this point? The fucking rockets that took us to the moon, because we've already been there.
You know what is especially ancient technology? Celestial navigation, and yet that only works on a sphere, and it's been around for ages.
How do you land on a light, Grant?
How do you land on a light?
Yeah.
You go at nighttime.
Well, first you need to find a sufficiently large light, and then you need to fall on it.
Yeah, you would go through the light, not on it.
How do you know?
I've never been able to go through a light bulb. It always stops
me.
Not
a bulb, the light.
Yeah, a light bulb.
Not a light bulb. Remove the bulb and just
tell me anything.
Well, look, it doesn't have to be. Anything? Look, it doesn't have to be a bulb. It could be like sort of like an LED screen. That would work too. We could do that. We could land on a light. Yeah.
Go on, let's have a look. Wild claims again, making wild claims that you can't back up. How typical of you.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just a wild and crazy guy.
So typical that you just make wild, outrageous claims and not be able to back them up.
That's right. I am making the claim that we live on a globe. It's outrageous. Who could say such a thing? Except for everybody, except for a small handful of mentally ill people and charlatans.
I don't think people do say that.
I think they do.
That's because you're part of the second group, Chemo, so you don't quite get it.
Look, they say that Superman flew around the globe as well. No?
No one says that for real, Chemo. I know that you have a hard time distinguishing between fantasy and real life, but it's not real.
He reversed the Earth and he made it go backwards.
Superman is not real.
How do you know?
Chemo, I'm sorry, Superman's
television.
Not real.
I saw it on TV.
Yeah, I know.
But Superman isn't real because Metropolis doesn't exist. That's why we believe in Spider-Man, who's in New York.
No.
Clearly.
There is a place, America.
Spider-Man has to be real because spiders are real. New York, is he real? People are named Peter Parker, so that's real.
People have aunties.
Yeah, Spider-Man's definitely real. But no, there is no Metropolis, and like all of that. That's all made up. Superman City is made up. There's no Gotham City either, so to say. So no Batman. No Batman, sorry.
Real.
No, not at all.
Look.
Find it on a map.
From Smallville. Go to Smallville. And you'll see his history of it. You're in Canada, so you won't know. That's in America, so probably why you don't believe it. You're a Canadian.
You realize that
you're about
Smallville's not a real place, right?
Mooses and those red Mounties.
You know that that's a fictional town.
What, Mooses and Mounties?
No, Smallville.
I know it has Ville in the name, which makes you think like, oh, Ville, village, all of that things.
Have you ever popped into Avalon and toured around King Arthur's court there, Chemo? That must be real too, right?
Of course it's real. Have you not seen Cinderella's castle? No, Snow White's castle. No, which one?
Yeah.
Oh, they've all got castles. Rapunzel.
I've been in Mickey Mouse's house, so that's real as well. That means Mickey Mouse must be real.
He has houses all over the world. Just built one in Russia.
Wait, Russia has the technology to build houses?
For Mickey Mouse, yeah.
That's cool.
France.
What else Russia has the technology to build?
Paris or France has...
do you know what else Russia has the technology to build?
I'm just saying that Mickey
Rockets
Mouse has
that
a
go into
house
space.
all over the world. You know, got one in Tokyo, I think.
You know what else is all over the world, Chemo?
Flat Earthers.
Curve.
Curvature.
See, I knew it. I knew it. We're on the same wavelength.
Right?
Yeah, there are hills everywhere. So what? We don't deny there are hills and valleys, curve everywhere, dips and highs and lows. Yeah.
There's a pretty averaged out, consistent curve that gives you a globe.
Who's measured that
That's
then?
celestial navigation, Chemo.
Who's done all that then?
I've done celestial
Smarter men
navigation.
than you. Smarter men than you.
Like who?
Like anyone.
Anyone.
Name one. Name one.
Me.
So
Me.
you've measured the curvature. Show it.
I
Prove it.
said I'm a smarter man than you.
No, you said smarter men who have measured the curve. Who?
That's true.
Like
But you
who?
didn't ask me that. Who?
Yeah, who's measured the curve and which smarter men? Who?
Any of them are smarter.
Oh
than you.
yeah, who?
Pretty much.
Like,
Pretty much.
Like who, for example?
You know what? The guys that play in the Who are probably smarter than you too.
There you go. So there's no one smarter than me.
I'm glad. No, you said like who, and I'm agreeing with you. Yes, the dudes in the Who, they're probably smarter than you. It was a good example, Chemo. Thank you.
Did they measure
Thank you for that. I didn't have to even search.
Did they measure curvature?
Well, they measured lots of things.
But did they measure the curvature of the Earth?
Well, you'd have to ask them.
Well, you brought it up.
Well, it's your question.
Chemo, I've measured the curvature of the Earth by
How?
using celestial navigation.
What tools did you?
A sextant.
But how do you get the straight angle on a curved surface? Straight line on a curved surface.
It's called a tangential.
How do you have a tangential on a flat surface?
You just swapped it from a curved surface to a flat surface. That's not true.
Yeah, but how does it work on a curved surface?
You use a tangential.
Go on, explain it then. Two objects.
Okay, you look at the horizon. You look at the object. You measure the angle, and then voila.
And then you pop your head a little bit with the palm of your hand, and you go,
to the horizon.
"Oh man, fuck, Chemo's an idiot."
But from you to the horizon is curved, right?
No.
Oh, it's not.
The ground from you to the horizon is curved, but not you looking at the horizon. That's a straight line.
That's a straight line from you to the horizon, yeah?
Yes, you looking at the horizon.
Straight line, no curve.
Your view of the horizon is a straight line.
Yeah, but you to the horizon, you're saying is a straight line.
Yes.
No
Directly from your eyes to the horizon is a straight line.
And then beyond the horizon is what? It would curve down on that tangential point.
No,
Well,
down is not involved. It would curve around, not down.
When you talk about beyond the horizon, that's not what we're using a sextant for. We can't look beyond the horizon with a sextant. We just look at the horizon.
You're saying that it's a straight line between you and the horizon, yeah?
From your eye to the horizon, yes.
Yeah. So how far is that horizon?
It doesn't really matter for the angle.
So it can be any distance.
Yeah, you just need to have the angle.
Any distance from you to the horizon will always be straight.
From your eyes to the horizon, yes.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
No, I'm not saying that the ground from your position to the position of the horizon is flat. I'm saying that your eyes to the horizon makes a straight line.
Yeah, but you can only see 3 miles if you're in a boat, right?
That's a claim that you just made. I can't substantiate that.
Well, how far can you see then? How far can you see to the horizon?
Much further than that.
So much further, so that is a straight line between you and the horizon. You see more than 3 miles.
I don't know. You're making some claims right now. I really don't know. Maybe if you could substantiate some of them, we could figure it out together.
You're saying that you're looking at the horizon, yeah?
Chemo's not interested in learning anything or discovering the truth. He's just interested in
a little boat, like a rowing boat. You look at the horizon.
You know what you should do, Chemo? You should get yourself a little rowing boat.
Just say that's a
Not
straight
too
line
expensive.
between you and the horizon. Gummy bear.
Look, look, you should get
Your
yourself a little.
eyes to the horizon, yes.
Get yourself a little. Here's an experiment for you, Chemo. Okay, get yourself a little rowing boat. Just a little small, cheap rowing boat. Don't have to spend a lot of money. Head out to the ocean and just paddle out into the middle of the Atlantic, and you'll definitely be able to see the curve. Just paddle out right to the middle of the Atlantic with a little rowboat. I think it would be a good experiment for you. You should do that.
Oh, I'll consider that then, yeah. Put that on the bucket. But in the meantime, these sextons cannot work on a curved surface like that, Gummy.
They only work on a curved surface. That's your problem, Chemo.
Yeah, but how do you get those angles if the bottom line is curving?
I'm telling you, you don't care about the bottom line, you're caring about the line from your eyes to the horizon. And that doesn't curve, that's a straight line.
It can't be a straight line. There's curve between the horizon.
You say you can't have a straight line between 2 points if they're connected by curve as well?
Yeah, how can it be a straight line if it's curving?
Because your eyes don't follow the ground, they just look at it straight on with a straight line. Or do you view things along the surface? Usually when I look at a basketball, I look at a point on it and it'll be a straight line from my eyes to that point. I don't look along the surface like a ant or whatever the hell you want to call it. I just look at the point, and what is the straightest path or what's the shortest path between 2 points? You like this word? A straight line. So I pick a point. It doesn't matter that that point is on a curved surface, but I pick a point, and the point from that point to the point of my eyes is a straight line. There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah, but like I say, to the horizon there could be any distance, yeah?
That doesn't matter. All we want is the angle.
You can't get that angle if it's curving.
Chemo, you just went back a step. We just established that it won't be a curved line from one point to another. Just like you saying that the looking at a ball isn't a straight line because the ball is curved. Well, no, because you're looking at a point on the ball, and that's a straight line to that point.
So you have to draw a diagram. We've got the diagram already, and it doesn't work. On the diagram.
You need a diagram of straight lines, Chemo?
No, we had the diagram. Huh. Oh yeah, here we go. But look, this is why it doesn't work.
No, chemo, nothing, absolutely nothing.
Look
works
here,
on
look
Earth.
at that. This is what would happen when you look at Sexton over the curve for me. See,
No,
it doesn't
Are you
work.
saying that you look along a curve? Are you saying
No.
your eyes follow the curve?
Chemo, that's a straw man, and you're doing it absolutely wrong. If you're looking at that point, then you're looking from the top of the mast of that ship, and that is a straight line.
No, because you've got to make that.
It wouldn't. Chemo, look at that image. That curve is not the horizon. That's way beyond the horizon.
I think you're right, Skydog. Keep him away from the fucking
Any way
slide.
you shorten that bottom line or length is still going to be curved.
If you're looking at
Can't get away from
Chemo,
it.
dude, take your little meme out and draw a straight line from the top of the mast of that ship, where I feel like having a crow's nest, to the top of that curve, right there where it's a tangent. Draw that line. then we can talk.
I'm
Until
just
then,
saying,
that's
if
a
you
straw
shorten
man.
that line at the bottom or lengthen it, it's
Well,
still
I mean,
curved.
chemo. So here's the thing: when you're debating people, you have to demonstrate you understand what they're talking about at least somewhat. And that picture does nothing but demonstrate the severity of your idiocy. That's it, right? Because you don't know how anything works.
That's what would happen on a curved surface.
No, it's not.
On a flat surface is the one on the right.
Yeah, that's not how it would work. That's not how a sexton would work. Not
That's
how we would
exactly
do it.
how it works.
Nope.
No, look at that
No, it's
picture I
not.
got.
Where's your
I think
evidence?
Chemo-
Where's your proof?
Look
You
at
have a
that
video?
picture. Look at that picture I made. Somehow there's a straight line from the horizon to the top of that. In this case, it's a mountain, but it can just be you, just a person. It doesn't matter what the object is, but there is a straight line from that point to the point of the horizon. Isn't that curious?
Not really, no.
It's not curious because you thought you could only see curve along a curved line. But somehow I've chosen a point, and when I look at it, it's a straight line from me to that point.
Oh, don't be silly.
How do you manage that, Chemo?
That mountain, though, how tall is that?
It doesn't matter. You can make it 2 meters, and then it's a person.
Don't
This
have a
is
true.
this isn't to scale anyways.
Don't have a
We're
true
percent-
horizon here. Got a true horizon in your one.
You don't
You
have
don't
to.
understand. When
You
you
don't
bring
have.
a basketball into a room, the whole room starts to curve.
Well, that's what I was saying to you, Gummy. If that true horizon, you're looking at it there, that can go on for miles.
No, it wouldn't.
So if it goes on for miles, it's going to curve all the way around.
No, you just look at the horizon, and it doesn't matter what happens over there. All you care about is the angle to the horizon. It
Yeah,
can
but-
be 500 million trillion miles for all I care. It's the angle we care about.
Can't get an angle.
Which is sextant, Chemo. Sextant. Angle.
How can you get the angle if it's curved, the bottom line there?
Because we don't look along a curved line, or we don't look along the ground. We look from our eyes to the object. That's a straight line. Repeat after me. From the eyes to the object.
So from to the horizon is a straight line, is what you're saying. Yeah.
From your eyes to the horizon is a straight line. Can you repeat this?
From your
From your
eyes
eyes
to
to
the
the horizon
horizon,
is a straight line.
line. From your eyes to the horizon is a straight line.
Good
Yeah.
shit. Now we just use that angle and sextants work.
So if the horizon's 1,000 miles away, then what?
Yeah.
There's
Then you
no-
still
there's
have a straight line.
Straight line for 1,000 miles, yeah?
Well, it would
It
work
is-
the same. So here's the thing, Chemo. You're
Yeah,
forgetting.
is that what you're
right?
saying, Gummy? 1,000
No.
miles of a straight line.
It
In
would
this
work the
Oh,
same
look,
way.
anyway, Ranty's
No.
here.
Listen, Chemo.
No.
No. See, Chemo.
Alright, make your point.
You're coming
Make
up
your
with.
point.
You're coming up with. Yeah, you're coming up with these arbitrary distances as though they somehow defeat the Earth. But even if we were to say, think about other planets, you could do the exact same thing on a larger planet, and then the horizon would be further off, right? So you could have 1,000 or a 2,000 mile horizon on a bigger planet, right? And it wouldn't matter. You would still use the same process to measure the stars. Now they'd be in a different location, certainly, but you could still map things that way. No problem.
This
So-
is not.
Why
size-
is
the
the
size
horizon
of-
used? It's just to find out the horizontal, right?
Yeah,
It's just to
Chemo,
establish
when
the
you
horizontal.
Oh, for
when
goodness
you
sake.
have a line, Chemo, and an angle to that line, no matter how long you make that line, the angle stays the same.
Yeah,
You
but
can
you just
have that
said
line be 1,000,000 miles, 1,000,000,000,000 miles, the angle stays the same.
You said you
It's
can look at the
amazing how
horizon.
straight
You
lines
said you can
work.
look at the horizon 1,000 miles away and it's a straight line.
A sexton could work on hypothetically any sized planet, but it couldn't work on any infinitely sized flat planet.
We've got
You can actually go
Ranty
without a
here.
horizon.
Ranty was on there, Fight the Flat Earth last night. Very interesting show. I only caught the first half. I've got to catch the second part of it. It was on for quite a while. But
Are you admitting defeat in this topic we're talking about right now?
No,
Of course he is. He's running away. He's running away. That's okay. Emo, look, you know what? Sometimes a strategic retreat is the right decision, right?
Not that big of a deal.
Those who run away live to fight another day. They say.
All right, fine.
It's okay. Run away. It's okay.
I've read Sun
Oh my
Tzu's
gosh,
The Art of War, and he says stuff about tactical retreats. So I'm pretty sure it's a valid tactic.
Anyway. So like I said, we saw Ranty last night on Fight the Flat Earth, and they're very upset with Anthony posing as... What age did he say? I'm not even sure what age he said. But anyway, he's posing as a young person, talking to other young people about the shape of the earth and stuff. So, I'm kind of like, yeah, you know, it's like we were talking about earlier on. Yeah, it's kind of I can't explain it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not right to directly go to kind of like children like that, but they kind of, you know, like I say, but there is information to be heard, to be put out there, and we were just saying, Ranty, this morning as well, because we're on TikTok now, as that's the new thing, and there's several classrooms online where young people are just in their class. No, that's not me. And
bullshit, it's not.
And so yeah, they're saying you guys are not very happy with the flat earthers doing such a thing.
Yeah, well, we found your TikTok on
TikTok.
We found your TikTok account, Chemo, and then sadly, you deleted it, which is a bit of a shame. I was just coming in to just ask why you decided to just delete your TikTok account when it was found.
I think that was a mirror account or somebody must have made. Not too sure.
Oh yeah.
Chemo lies again.
I've still got my account. It was on it this morning. But yeah, I mean, I think people are making mirror accounts.
Chemo, people don't have to make mirror accounts on social media.
Oh, they do it all the time.
No, I assure you they do, but they don't have to make mirror accounts to prove how dumb you cunts are in the nicest possible way.
So, what was the? Because I didn't see all of it, Ranty. What was the issue with what? Flat Earth.
Look, Chemo is far from dumb. In fact, I wish he was dumb, because then he wouldn't be able to talk so much, right? He's stupid. He is an imbecile, an idiot, mentally deficient, certainly, but dumb, unfortunately, not.
Yeah, I agree.
I was actually going to congratulate Chemo actually for using an image of him that isn't a child actually. So he actually went on TikTok with his real face, obviously with his real age, and he wasn't behaving the same as Sleeping Warrior was with pretending to be a child. So that's why I found it odd that you deleted the account. But maybe it was to stop us looking through the messages to see what comments you'd been leaving on other people's videos.
Oh, can you do that?
You didn't know. You didn't know that, did you not? No, I'm sure you didn't, Chemo. I'm sure you had no idea about that.
How are you, Ranty?
I'm fine.
That's good. How's things going in your neck of the woods? Is things opening back up? Are people still real sick? What's your situation? Is everything?
No, everything's pretty much back to normal. There's no rules or regulations in place at all for anything.
Now, is that because your government said fuck it, or is that because people were cooperative and sensible?
I think it's, I mean, for the most part, we behaved. We were civilized.
That's good.
For the most part, we lined up and got jabbed.
That's good. I mean, for the most part, that's what's stopping the spread of the pandemic. So, not a bad thing.
Yeah, what's your other account, Chemo, on TikTok? I'd love to have a little look at that and just see the age of it and, you know, things like that, and maybe become friends with you
Oh
on
my
TikTok.
God.
Yeah.
You know, because you said you had another account, and if you did have another account and that wasn't you, then your other account would be aged, right? You know, it would be more than just a few hours old, surely.
Yeah, I've got an account on there. Yeah, it's still the same.
Could you link me that, please?
Yeah, I'll try and dig that up sometime. Yeah.
All right, go do
Figure
that,
it out.
Chemo.
Yeah,
Go do
very
that.
good, very good on you there, Chemo. Yeah, thank you. But are you going to do that now for me?
No. I mean, obviously, we're online now, so I'll try and get that up later on.
Oh, you don't. You don't have to. You could do it now in just a couple of minutes, really.
Yeah. I'll try and dig that up sometime
Oh,
later.
in a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes you've been arguing about not giving it up. Why don't you just give it up and it would be over?
Yeah.
It takes like 2 seconds.
I will. Yeah. Give me some time and I'll dig that up. For you.
Okay, we'll
One,
give you some
two.
time now. We'll give you some time now. How's that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have something else to talk about, Kimo, while you do that.
Yeah, we'll talk about something else, and then by the time you come back, you know, that'll be all good. Thanks for that, Chemo.
I found that
no
there's
worries,
a
no worries.
artificial horizon for sextants, actually, which uses gravity as a vector. So I just thought that might be interesting to you, that you don't even need the horizon to do the horizon measurement.
Yeah, the sextant idea about it being the year of the sextant for flat Earth, I mean, it's so ridiculous.
The tool that only works on a globe or only gets the results it does on a globe wasn't made for the globe. Yeah,
Correct, but the Nathan Oakley and 10th man argument is that you only need the sextant, you don't need the almanac.
Oh, really? Well,
Yes.
for one star, yeah, that's true.
But it will be accurate. It will get you to your location to within 20 miles, apparently, which is good enough for the flat earthers. So even though that with using the almanac it gets you to your destination, they're quite happy to accept that, you know, without the almanac, you know, it'll get you within 20 miles.
Sex 10s are actually like the top of my scoring system for how I know I've had a good time. Sex 9s and Sex 8s are okay too, though.
Ooh. That's interesting. Yeah, without the almanac, has he described how this works yet?
Yeah, because I challenged them to, you know, I put a video out about it, about the, you know, accounting for the dip, and said that these guys, well, especially 10th man, wasn't accounting for the dip because he wanted a perfect 90 degree. That's what he was after, a perfect 90. When I explained that you wouldn't get a perfect 90 once you accounted for dip, he then said that nobody accounts for dip anymore because you can use the sextant without the almanac. So you don't need to account for all that stuff. And Nathan Oakley, yeah, he was in agreement with that. So, apparently
Did
you
you
can get to
describe
within.
how this works? I mean, that's revolutionary to me.
It is. In fact, it's so revolutionary that, apparently, according to 10th Man, the vast majority of people that he spoke to and the vast majority of videos that he watched and the majority of people that use the sextant all are in agreement that they don't use the almanac. They just use the sextant.
Huh.
I found that interesting, considering that basically I believed that the almanac was the map. You know, basically that told you where you were going. The sextant just was the tool.
And what if you have a really good memory and 3D perspective? You know, maybe you could pull off some reasonably. You know, a couple of savants out there could do it.
I mean, if you know the stars well enough and everything, I suppose it's possible.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's interesting that they try to, you know, now claim that the sextant's a flat Earth tool, in fact, flat Earth proof.
Well, the other day I tried. Somebody was arguing that the fact that there's two celestial poles is a flat Earth proof, which is very silly.
Well, my best argument to date well, that's something that I came up with a few days ago. Actually, I've spoken about this on my own server. Is that the auto level that Bev's going on about? This auto level and taking these incremental, distance measurements to find level, etc. And I turned around and said, well, if you live on a plane, and we have the technology that we do now, and knowing how much the construction industry is worth and how much money they invest on actually getting surveyors out there and doing the levels and stuff, wouldn't it be great if they had a tool that could be accurate to a mile? Well, apparently, if you look at these auto levels, the very maximum you can get is about 150 meters of accuracy, because after that, curvature of the Earth affects your level. So why, if P then Q, if the Earth was flat, then somebody out there at some point would have built an auto level that was accurate to a mile. There is no auto level that's accurate to a mile, therefore the Earth isn't flat. How's that?
It's great. I love it.
Oh, that if P then Q bollocks back in the face. Because, the idea that you can't have, you wouldn't be able to make something accurate enough to a mile is ridiculous. Not with the technology we have now, with the cameras, with the equipment, just with the technology we have, we could absolutely make something that was accurate to a mile away.
How's your bulgy water theory panning out? I know you were saying that you figure you just see certain places better than others further away just because of the sort of area that you're looking at.
I think that's actually true. I think it's to do with the stability of the water that causes the refraction gradient. If you've got shallower water and a leveler topography underneath the water, you've got less churning up of the water. It creates a more stable atmosphere above the water, and I think that accounts for greater refraction. So, if
do you think that just whether or not you're closer or further from the equator and the difference in gravity couldn't account for a lot of that too?
No, I think it's more to do with the general the mixing of the water. I think that has a bigger effect on the atmosphere just above the water, and if it disturbs it quite a lot, then obviously you're not going to get an awful lot of refraction. But in places where I am, where the land is, underneath the water is pretty level, you don't get an awful lot of churning. There's not a lot of stuff going on there. You get a more stable atmosphere. And like Rumpus has been saying, in optimum conditions, you can see very far. And it just seems that a lot of the locations where you see these distances, a lot further than you should on a globe, if you check the topography of the water underneath, the land underneath the water, you see that there isn't a lot of valleys and troughs to churn up the water. So maybe that's what's causing it.
Wow.
I have a body of water near me that's probably about 6 miles across, and it's only an average of probably 4 to 5 feet. How would that affect my optics? I'm not sure what you're saying, so I'm trying to say I can go to this area and look at it. Large body of water that's shallow.
Yeah.
And flat.
I think a large body of water that's shallow and level will just mean that the atmosphere above it isn't being churned up a lot because there isn't a lot of waves, there's not a lot of disturbance going on, so the atmosphere is more stable, which creates the optimum conditions for refraction.
So there's like a churn factor.
All right.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, that could be a possible effect. I mean, it makes more sense now to think of it as that way, because when you go to places like Hawaii and stuff like this, and you've got all those deep drop-offs that happen, you don't tend to see those really long distances. But if you go to a lot of places, sometimes you'll go down to lakes and stuff like that, and you can see much further. Well, there's not a lot going off on the lakes. There's no tide effects on that. There's no, generally they're pretty stable. So in those conditions, that's probably why you see further, because the water isn't churning the atmosphere above it.
Yeah, I got kind of.
It's probably got nothing to do with temperature and shit, right? It's probably can't be temperature. Can't be temperature gradients, could it?
But it is tidal, though.
What do you think, Ranty? Could it be temperature gradients?
Well, it's to do with the temperature, and it's to do with the amount of water, water that's being churned up as well. I mean, if you've got more waves on the ocean, it's throwing more water up in the air. It's causing more disturbance in the atmosphere, right?
Now that I will disagree with you. This body of water has a humidity from hell. It's like living inside of a mouth. It's calm because it's only a bay.
Yeah, so I think if you look at Red Pill Philosophy's video where he sees like 25 miles or something, and he sees the cars on the roadside literally just 5 or 6 feet above the water, I mean, it's incredible footage. If you look at that, when he took that observation, the water is like a mill pond. There's no wind. I mean, it is the water is so flat and unmoving. It's unbelievable. And the same when I took my observations, of these great distances, for the most part, the water was incredibly still. So it just makes sense then that the atmosphere isn't getting a lot of disturbance, which just creates that perfect gradient to go around the curve.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it from this perspective, so I'll have to go back and next time in that little bay, I'll take a look, because usually I have extreme temperatures, relatively calm water. So it would be only the temperature would be my main variable, and humidity, because humidity, of course, is insane also. So southeast USA.
Now, Ranty, you were never one of these people that denied gravity, were you? I don't think.
No. I didn't really get involved with anything other than optics. I stayed away from that. I let other people discuss that.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't. I was only interested in one thing.
Chemo's taken an awfully long time to find his TikTok account.
Oh, he should have it now, I think. I would definitely assume he's got it now. I mean, it takes, 30 seconds to bring it up?
Well,
Yeah,
it takes
I mean,
a few minutes to make a new one, though,
after
right?
careful consideration, I think it's not wise to share that information.
Why?
Yeah, to share all the information. Just show the TikTok account and blot out the information you don't want to show.
Oh, you can't do it like
Yeah, you can.
You can. You could take a screenshot of it and show the age of the account.
that.
But you'd have to do it really quickly, because otherwise you could fabricate it.
Or you could. I'll tell you what, Chemo. You could privately message it to me, and
I've just deleted it now anyway.
Oh, okay.
And you will know that
I'm going to make another account.
He just deleted it.
Just deleted it.
You
I'm gonna make
just delete it.
Why would you delete it?
Why would you do that, Chemo? What are you trying to hide? Seems like something that a dishonest person would do.
Oh no, it's got all my family on it and stuff.
So you deleted it.
I just deleted it.
I see.
Makes
But you
sense.
could have covered up the pertinent information and
Can't
shared
do it like that.
Yes, you can. Absolutely can.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because you're an imbecile.
My fault.
I get the impression that you are actually a very dishonest human being.
Oh,
I've been told.
He certainly is.
That's what they say, yeah.
You have more people copying your accounts and saying the exact same things you say.
Mm.
It's very, very coincidental.
Oh, there's plenty of clown.
And they have, direct ties to your other accounts that we know are you.
Oh, I'm constantly being clowned.
It's funny how they find pictures of you though to use that I've never seen before, and probably nobody else has seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. You're lying. You're really a lying sack of shit.
I don't know where.
Kind of gross.
It's not about me. Obviously, it's about me.
No, right now it is. Sorry.
I find it astonishing.
Moyak, that was rude. Sacks of shit are useful.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, that's rude. Sacks of shit are useful.
Yeah, they are. I don't know how else to get him lower, though.
chemo is pretty. He's there. It's just sort of baked right in.
I think
There's
chemo
a
A
knows.
flying sack of polonium-249. I mean, what?
I think
Hard to
chemo
say.
knows that.
I don't know. I think there
chemo-
needs to be
I'll make
some
another
Urban
account and I'll give
Dictionary
you
entries.
I'll
Yeah.
make another account and give the details to all that one.
No.
Yeah, chemo knows that the NSPCC are, filing the report with the police tonight about Sleeping Warrior, and that they will be taking his laptop, his PC, his mobile phone, and anybody connected with him that been talking about what they're doing on TikTok will be dragged into this. So that's probably why chemo deleted his account, I would think.
Oh,
Chemo.
you think he was fleeing the scene of the crime?
Yeah, deleting before deleting all the evidence before the shit hit the fan.
Well, I mean, he knows that they're going to be able to pull the records of all the other accounts that did that, and that deleting the account is only going to make his account look more suspicious at that point.
Possibly, but then again, it is a Chinese company, so getting compliance from the Chinese might be a little difficult, which is his only hope, I would think.
It might be, but they want to continue to be able to do business in other markets, and if people are complaining about child abuse things, they're likely to comply, right? Like,
I don't think the Chinese
you know,
bother. I don't think the Chinese really care that much.
well, I mean, if it's something where people, if they were to be causing enough problems on TikTok and not complying, then ISPs will just start blocking them, right? The Chinese, they may be communists, but they're capitalists too, right? They're not going to lose a bunch of money over bad PR.
True, I think there'll be a huge amount of bad PR.
Your mic is awful again.
Sorry.
I think there's going to be a huge amount of bad PR with this, especially if it reaches the papers, which I believe that it probably will be, because I know that they've been contacted too. So, I can't imagine YouTube wanting to associate themselves with any kind of flat earth content creators out there. That's going to be a bad day for them. What do you say, Chemo? Do you think YouTube will want to associate with people that are known to go and frequent young children, pretending to be young children themselves? Do you think they want to have that kind of community on their payroll?
It's not a good look.
Certainly not, is it? Do you think Nathan will be pretty annoyed with Tony if he loses his monetization?
I mean, I just, my opinion is it's not a good look. That's it.
It's not a good look when you delete your account either, Chemo, is it?
Oh, I can make it.
Well, he does have a long record of deleting accounts, so I mean, it's probably it would just look like normal operation for him.
I think he's trying to look more like Bob Nodal.
Oh,
Super
my mic
Noodle.
went there. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I'll just make another account and then you can see me on that.
I got this closet, right? I swear to God, man. I just saw a fucking lumberjack in my closet, bro.
Did you? Can you send him my way? I miss my one.
I did, man. What the fuck?
I miss my one. I really would like to meet him
It
again.
could be your lumberjack. Like, I think he may have seen you online and came to my closet.
Oh, well, listen, don't keep him. I want him back.
You can have him, bro. He looks a little bit gay and shit. Like,
He was gay for sure. So,
what? Did he try? I think he tried to finger me, bro.
No, he didn't. He didn't try to fiddle with me. So
No, not fiddle, finger.
yeah, he didn't try to do that either. But I do miss him. So if you can give him a message from me and tell him to come pay me a visit, that would be great.
Just tell him. He can hear you.
Please, lumberjack, come and see me again. Miss you. There you go. How's that?
A little bit louder.
No.
Yeah, he said 10-4.
Okay. Perfect. Well, Kimo, don't you think this is a big scandal that's going off inside the flat Earth?
It could be seen that way. Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's not the first time that the flat earthers have said they were targeting children. I think that you've said that too, right, Chemo? You said that, we're going to get all the kids. Heard you say that.
Yeah, I mean, the next generation should be aware of what's going on, yeah.
Didn't Nathan Thompson say directly that he was targeting kids?
Yeah, I believe he did, yes.
He filmed himself doing it. What are you talking about?
On TikTok, nonetheless.
Yes, Thompson said that, and Oakley specifically said, don't do that. So it's definitely been discussed for a good long while.
Wasn't it Nathan that was going around at schools and stuff, got in trouble?
Yeah, it was.
Thompson.
Yeah.
He also went into kids' bookstores and was replacing children's books with information about flat Earth.
Are you sure he wasn't just looking for something at his reading level?
Yeah, no, that was him putting little flyers in maps and shit on at a Walmart. It wasn't as suspicious as that, but still, yeah.
I'll tell you what, Chemo. Obviously, you're still in with the in crowd in Flat Earth, right? With Tony and all that. So, would you be able to tell us, who else is actually with Sleeping Warrior over there? What group of people he's doing this with?
I have no idea.
How do you not know that?
I've never asked.
So what are you going to say when they come to interview you, Chemo?
How can you have no
find out what
idea?
you know and who you know? What are you going to say?
Chemo, how can you have no idea when you literally posted audio clips from it in the chat?
Of what? Of what?
Of kids asking if Earth was flat to the teachers.
Oh, that was just an example.
An example of something that you have no idea of.
No, that was just demonstrating, and that's what's happening.
An example of something that you have no idea of is going on. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what you want about
Of something that you have no idea is happening that you have an example of in audio. Multiple examples, in fact, and was told not to post both of them.
What are you going to say when they present you with recordings of you listening in to a class?
I never
Or
heard
claiming
Chemo
to
say
yesterday.
anything like that. I don't remember Chemo doing anything. No.
He was doing it yesterday.
When?
He was doing it literally a couple of hours ago, like 3 hours ago.
I think you guys are tripping. I was here the whole time.
Bullshit, Branch.
Yeah. Chemo was posting audio clips and was told by Jam not to run the second one because, we kind of heard it. Okay?
He was justifying
that was just that was a demonstration.
All of yesterday.
That was a demonstration of something that you have no idea that is going on, but have audio clips.
I didn't know you were on about that.
That's what it was.
You were about something else.
That was a demonstration of something that you just claimed to have no recollection of or knowledge of going on, but had audio clips of. Yes, that's right.
I get that.
Are you sure that was Chemo? Are you sure that was Chemo?
Yes.
Do we have some recordings of Chemo saying that recorded that we can put in the chat just so we can have a little listen? I'm sure someone's got that. They can bring it right up. But what are you going to say when they come to interview you, Chemo? What are you going to say? About all this stuff? Because I'm sure that they'll want to talk to some people. You may be on that list, and if it's on, what are you going to do when they show up?
You may want to get rid of your stash, Chemo.
Are you not angry with Tony for dropping all you guys in it? Not giving you a chance to delete your accounts beforehand?
The irony really being that the day before yesterday we had Mabbott saying that Riley was a plant. And he was, there to bring down Flat Earth. So it's almost as if some of Flat Earth is very aware of this issue.
I think we should remember that Riley is profoundly dishonest, and I don't think we should put too much credence in anything that he says, even if we think it makes him look bad.
Oh, like chemo.
Just
Like
we don't
chemo.
put any credence in Riley, but it's still interesting to see if we rattle the cages, what comes out.
Well, I think that in this case, I mean, Gem Panda could be correct here, but I think that if he thinks that the police or the NSPCC, if they get a report of this and they follow it up, if Sleeping Warrior thinks that he's just going to be able to say, "Oh, it was just a joke, guys," go away, that's going to wash. I don't think that that's going to wash with them. They will want to take away his equipment and they will want to scrutinize the hard drives on that, and that could take months, but they will do it because they can't. It's a child safety issue, and they won't. They just can't brush it under the carpet. And if he's been out there admitting that this is what he's doing, and they see that that's an issue for them, if they see that's an issue, just from what he said, then they will take his equipment.
Now, the way he was talking about it, it seemed to me like he was indicating that he was doing it, but that he wasn't alone. Like this was the flat Earth was gonna take over TikTok, a whole bunch of people. Were there any other flat earthers that you're aware of that were saying, "Hey, yeah, this is a good idea, we're on board"? Because it seemed like the way he was talking, at least, that he was aware of other people, like they had a little group going or something.
Well, if it's we go in and pose as a group of children doing something, well, it's most definitely more than one person.
Funny thing is, they're probably all talking to each other.
He's definitely using sort of some we statements, I believe, right?
Yeah, because he was literally explaining how they were discussing that their teacher, couldn't answer this or that flat Earth question, and bringing others in by that discussion.
Yeah. And there's a safeguarding issue here. That's the thing. You see, the NSPCC and the police, they take that incredibly seriously. If this was reported to a school, let's suppose this information made its way to the school and they didn't report it to the police or the NSPCC or something like that, then it's a huge safeguarding issue and they could shut the school down based just solely on them not reporting it. That's how serious they take this. And if the police, I know the NSPCC have already been given a brief rundown of what's gone on, and they want to take a statement of this in order to forward it onto the police. So they already assume that it's a safeguarding issue, in which case this is going to roll.
If he doesn't get fucked and you guys try real hard to get him fucked, he could turn around and sue your dumbasses for
It's nothing to do with us. It's the NSPCC and the police, what they do with it. Now, we don't have the authority to do anything legally, but the NSPCC and the police do. And if they feel that that's an issue, then they will chase that up. All we have done is alert them to a potential, and it is seen as potentially dangerous, obviously, because the entire community is up in arms over it. So if the average person feels that that's an issue, I think then, we're on safe grounds here by just highlighting it to the NSPCC. If the NSPCC then take it forward and the police take it forward, then that is because they feel that it's an issue that the courts might want to look into. So
right, but let's say he doesn't get charged.
Yeah. Then we can just say how abhorrent we feel that he is going behind and breaking all the protocols out there that are put in place to protect children, all the safeguarding measures that are out there, by bypassing them, bypassing the parents, bypassing the schools, bypassing TikTok's terms of service, by bypassing all them and those safeguarding measures to go and talk to children whilst pretending to be a child.
Right, but let's say the courts say that he didn't do anything wrong. Does he then have a case against you guys?
No.
For defamation of character?
Nope.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Nope.
No. You can't be done for defamation for reporting something to the police.
No. If you make somehow made up evidence, that would be defamation or false accusations or something. But
or if you posted news articles all about it and actually, dropped his name and everything that he's supposedly done, but presented it as fact, that's defamation.
Yeah, I don't really know the laws and shit. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, I think that it'd be fine. And bear in mind, this isn't just people targeting Flat Earth. This could be anybody pretending to be kids to access to kids for whatever reason.
Well, so the FBI is actually cracking down a lot on what they call Zoom bombing, where these people jump in these classrooms by somehow getting shared links. There was a guy yesterday saying that they're getting shared around, so I'm wondering kind of what venue that stuff is actually getting shared around. But these people have went in and actually, like showed images of a swastika tattoo on this guy's arm and calling people, racist names and a whole bunch of other stuff. Those like they showed porn to all these kids, and it's a huge issue on cybercrime. And the FBI is cracking down on these people that are actually getting unauthorized access to these classrooms.
Well, let me just, I'm posting something just in the chat right now, which is from the NSPCC. This is for the UK, obviously. And this is part of what their agenda is, basically. And I've highlighted that, which is our Wild West web campaign works to ensure the UK becomes the safest place for children to be online. We want government to introduce a legal duty of care on tech firms, so that's including TikTok, to protect children from the life-changing impact of online abuse, right? So this is what they intend to do. This is what they're trying to do. So by highlighting what Sleeping Warrior's doing, this is exactly what they are trying to protect the children from.
There's also this underlying issue with TikTok, right? I mean, it almost sounds like there could be a civil case against. I'm not sure if the civil case is the right word, but it almost seems like there could be a case against TikTok for allowing this type of shit.
I'm sure there is.
It's difficult to have like a legal case with it being a Chinese company, but if it became a bigger problem and nothing was done about it, then a lot of places may just block it entirely, right?
Is it still Chinese?
Well, you see, the thing about Chinese companies is that
is TikTok still Chinese?
Probably, but the thing about them is that the reason they will hand over everything is that the only reason China interacts with the West is that they need the money. And they're absolutely only in it for the money and the possible monitoring of people. So if there's any kind of way that they could lose customers or not be allowed to run in the UK or anything like that, versus selling out Riley's contribution of derp, they're gonna sell his ass twice.
Well, you can see why Flat Earth is like that sort of TikTok, with what they offer is obviously good for Flat Earth because they only allow 1 minute videos, right? So I am sure that they can put a Coriolis video out there that gets people thinking by just making stuff up for a minute about Coriolis that just, without giving a chance for proper rebuttal. So they've got plenty of opportunity there to put some, like Eric Dubé's first proofs out, that's just like a 45-second clip of that. It's like a breeding ground for the children over there to actually fall into that.
No, I'm all for that they have accounts that post any kind of derp they got. But the targeting? No. That's not going to fly.
The scarier thought is, though, that now that the Flat Earth is going into the TikTok, how many actual pedophiles are going to realise that might be a way in and pretend to be Flat Earthers in order to get into the TikTok children?
I'm sure the Flat Earthers got it from the pedos.
I was about to say that's the other way. That's obviously the other way around because TikTok has already had an issue where where pedos were attempting things.
Well, exactly. Yes, Riley was on a stream. Riley was on a stream a couple of months ago, literally talking about the pedos that are infiltrating TikTok and things like that. And here he is now pretending to be a child to go in there. And the very definition of grooming. Let me just post another image of what the very definition of grooming is. There we go. I'm just going to post this now. Have a read of this. I'll read it out to you guys. So it says, adult predators looking to groom children online often visit social media websites that are popular with young people and will pretend to be their age. The adult may try to secure their trust with a fake profile picture by pretending to share similar interests, by offering gifts to the child, or by complimenting the child. That's how do online predators operate. It's literally what Riley's been doing.
And offering flat Earth information to children could be considered that as well, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Any agenda will do that.
Oh, absolutely.
You could be a neo-Nazi or even a social democrat. Doing it that way makes it grooming.
Yeah, if he wanted to go in there as Tony Riley, age 41, right, and talk about flat Earth, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. No issues. But the fact that he's pretending to be a child that's actually talking to his teacher and trying to bring up questions to his teacher and trying to obviously talk to children of that age to try and get them thinking along the same lines, that's beyond normal. That's just not normal behavior.
Yeah, that's the shady part for sure.
And he knows it's shady because that's why he's pretending to be a child. Was it because he wasn't getting a reaction when he was trying to do it as a 41-year-old? Maybe that's the reason. Maybe he found that when he did it as a 41-year-old, he was getting the piss taken out of him. Maybe then he made a new account and pretended to be a child. And funnily enough, guess what? He can actually find a better way to interact with them that way.
I don't understand like the mental process that happened here. Is like, so doing it as a 41-year-old talking to these kids is creepy, but pretending to be a kid is somehow okay?
If you come out openly and say you're 41, like i.e. I play on Roblox or I have a Roblox account for my kids, but it's in my name with my age on it. Sometimes I play the games and people ask me, how did you do this or that? You can see that I am 45 and doing this or that. It's not like I'm pretending to be a 10-year-old kid that's just awesome at something, right?
The level of deception that they have to employ in order to try to snare people should worry everyone. One, that people are being snared, and two, that they would be unscrupulous enough to do that. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. And the fact that he doesn't see anything wrong when he does it shows a little bit of a lack of insight.
Chemo, you've gone all quiet. Why are you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why have you gone so quiet, Chemo? Are you worried? Like, what is it you're gonna say?
I've actually warned my kids about people like that on these apps and in their classrooms. It's it's very deceptive and it's just fucking creepy, man.
I've had been passed on a message that apparently Chemo hasn't been truthful when we were talking to him just recently about what was going on over at TikTok. Apparently, he was saying just a few hours ago that he was actually on TikTok talking to kids in classrooms or something along those lines. So I'd like to hear what Chemo's got to say about that.
Oh yeah, that was just a demonstration to show that they were all. 'Cause that was in the open. That was here where I was demonstrating that there were kids on TikTok, easily accessible if you would have talked to them about the flat Earth. So I told them the Earth is flat. So ask your teacher. And they asked their teacher, and they got into a little bit of discussion about it. So it's like a demonstration of what actually happens on that kind of site,
Oh, a demonstration? You mean that you went into the classroom? You went into that classroom and told them that the Earth was flat, and then they asked the teacher if the Earth was flat. You did that?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you do that on the account? Did you do that on the account where you had the image up of you being an adult, or were you pretending to be a child at the time?
My account. No, that wasn't my account. Like I said, I mirrored that.
Oh, it just wasn't your. You know.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's
very strange. See, your story just seems like.
Add up.
Yeah, it doesn't add up. Your explanation's falling a little bit flat, Chemo.
I think we're making a mountain out of a molehill here. Like I said, that was just demonstration purposes.
Okay, well, if you think we're making a molehill, Chemo, let me just ask you one question. I'm going to assume you have children, and I'm going to assume that they maybe believe in Christianity, right? Because obviously I believe that you believe in Christianity. I'm going to make those assumptions, right?
No, they're all little devils, actually.
Okay. Would you, obviously you're teaching them a certain way. Maybe it's to do with schooling or mannerism or something like that. What would you do if you found out that there was a 41-year-old man that had bypassed all your, protocols in place to keep your kids safe, and that you found out that they had been speaking to this guy who was pretending to be a child and was undermining everything that you'd been trying to teach him, the right from wrong, etc., like that. Imagine if that was the case. How would you feel about that?
That would be all.
To me, I don't see there's any difference here
That would be
of hanging
terrible, yeah.
outside of a school and talking to kids as they're coming and going. Like, you just can't do that.
That would be terrible, yeah. Wouldn't want that. I did say it's not a good look already, right? I've said already. That's not.
It's not a good look for the people you hang out with, Chemo, to be doing that. Yeah, like
Obviously, that's not
granted,
the right
there is, because you know
I've got to go.
these people
Sorry.
a bit. Oh, you gotta go. Okay, bye. Yeah,
Bye, Chemo.